Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Hey, it's Jay. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I've asked ChatGPT to write me a Bollywood movie. So, I've had ChatGPT help me write 3 Bollywood scripts. The first one I've kept really simple. I only gave ChatGPT one prompt. For the second script, I gave a little bit more information. I gave some actors, I gave some possible plot lines, I asked follow-up questions, and it's really given quite a coherent script that I'd actually be interested in watching. The third one I had a little bit of fun with, and I asked it to give us the third installment of the HERA PHERI series. That one was actually pretty realistic. I could believe it was the story, so make sure you stick around, we'll get to that one at the end. But yeah, let's jump in. So for the first script, I kept it really basic, and I just asked ChatGPT, can you write me a Bollywood movie? And it gave me a title and a 3-act plot. Title, A New Beginning. Opening shot. The camera pans over a bustling Mumbai cityscape as the sound of honking cars and street vendors fills the air. Act 1. We meet our protagonist, Ria, a young and ambitious woman who dreams of becoming a successful fashion designer. She works hard at a local textile company where she meets Aman, a charming and confident young man who runs his own business. Ria is immediately drawn to Aman, but their initial interactions are fraught with tension as they both compete for the same clients. However, as they spend more time together, they begin to develop a friendship and eventually fall in love. Act 2. As Ria and Aman's relationship blossoms, they face obstacles from their families and colleagues who are not supportive of their union due to their different backgrounds and financial situations. Meanwhile, Ria faces challenges in her career as she tries to launch her own fashion line. She is constantly battling against a powerful rival company run by a wealthy businessman who tries to steal her ideas and sabotage her reputation. Act 3. In the final act, Ria and Aman's love is put to the ultimate test as they confront their family and professional challenges head on. With the help of their friends and a little bit of luck, they are able to overcome their obstacles and succeed in their respective fields. In the end, Ria's fashion line becomes a huge success and Aman's business expands into new markets. They get married in a grand wedding ceremony, surrounded by their loved ones, as the camera pans out over the Mumbai skyline, signifying a new beginning for the couple and their future together. Wow, what a story. So that was basically a pretty standard, classic, over-the-top, basic Bollywood love story. We've seen it before, but what can you expect? I asked such a simple request of ChatGPT. It probably just drew examples from a huge number of Indian films which have such similar plots, and it gave out that. This was pretty basic, and I wanted to take it a step further. So I started a new plot and I gave a little bit more information this time. Let's get into it. So for the second script, I gave ChatGPT this information. Can you write me a Bollywood movie starring Shah Rukh Khan as a villain who falls in love with a doctor who saves him, played by Tabu? Can you make this story span over 20 years? And this is what ChatGPT gave me. The title, The Redemption of a Villain. Opening shot, we see a young Shah Rukh Khan playing the role of Rishabh, as he is introduced as a powerful and ruthless mafia don. Act 1. Rishabh is feared by everyone in his city, and no one dares to cross him. However, one day he is shot during a violent altercation with a rival gang and is left for dead. He is found by Dr. Shalini, played by Tabu, a kind and compassionate doctor who saves his life. At first, Rishabh is resentful towards Shalini for saving him, but over time he begins to develop feelings for her. However, Shalini is repulsed by Rishabh's violent past and refuses to get involved with him. Act 2. Over the next few years, Rishabh tries to turn his life around, but is constantly pulled back into his old life of crime. He begins to feel more and more isolated until he realizes that he's truly in love with Shalini. Meanwhile, Shalini has also been through her own struggles, including a difficult divorce and a struggle to balance her career with her personal life. Act 3. In the final act, Rishabh must confront his past once and for all and prove to Shalini that he's capable of change. He sets out to take down his former associates and dismantle his criminal empire, but faces challenges and setbacks along the way. As Rishabh works to redeem himself, Shalini begins to see him in a new light, and the two begin a tentative romance. In the end, Rishabh succeeds in his mission to take down his former associates, and he and Shalini get married. The movie ends with a shot of Rishabh and Shalini walking off into the sunset as the camera fades to black. The movie spans over 20 years, showing Rishabh's journey from a ruthless criminal to a reformed man who has found love and redemption. Now, while this script was a little bit more interesting, it did have a lot of similar basic Bollywood tropes as well, so I asked a few follow-up questions to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, the first question I asked was, how does Rishabh fall in love with Shalini? How long does it take him to fall in love? And it replied with, as Shalini continues to treat Rishabh, they begin to have conversations that reveal their shared humanity, and Rishabh starts to see the world in a new light. Despite his violent past and reputation, he finds himself drawn to Shalini's kind and compassionate nature and her dedication to helping others. It takes some time for Rishabh to fall in love with Shalini, as he is initially resistant to the idea of love and commitment. He is used to getting what he wants through force, and is not accustomed to dealing with his emotions or vulnerability. However, as he spends more time with her, he sees the positive impact she has on those around her. He begins to feel a deep connection with her, something that he has never experienced before. Ultimately, Rishabh's love for Shalini is hard-won, as he must confront his own inner demons and make difficult choices to be with her. The journey to win Shalini's heart is a major theme of the movie, and so that information gives us a few more layers to the story. Now, I prompted it with another question, which was, why did Shalini get divorced? In the story, Shalini got divorced due to personal differences with her husband. Though they loved each other at one point, they gradually grew apart over time and were unable to resolve their differences. Shalini's husband had different priority in life and was not supportive of a career as a doctor. This caused a strain in their relationship, leading to their eventual divorce. Now, I actually liked this. I think this is a good kind of modern age love story where the girl actually did get married at one point and had a divorce, and that it's not that just straightforward bad guy turns good and they end up happily ever after. There's a few more layers to this story, which makes it interesting. I also asked ChatGPT who should play the husband, and it suggested Abhay Deol or Akshay Khanna, which again I thought were two really appropriate casts who could play a role like that really well. You know, after hearing a script like that, I wonder what the movie would actually look like. Shalini, तुम शायद हो एक डॉक्टर और मैं हूँ एक गुंडा और एक गुंडा ही मरूंगा, लेकिन I love you very very much. Shalini, कभी कभी प्यार करने के लिए कुछ खोना भी पड़ता है और मैंने बहुत खून खोया Shalini. I know what you're thinking. That was so realistic. That's right, I paid Shah Rukh Khan 100 crores to film that video. But in all seriousness, I did ask a few other questions. I won't go into much detail, but I asked things like, give me an alternate ending where the couple doesn't end up together, or what does Shah Rukh Khan do for a living after he leaves the mafia job? And it actually gave me really good answers. And it makes me wonder, when you can use AI to make such good scripts, then who the hell is writing Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan? And speaking of the master director that is Farhad Samji, let's talk about one of his rumoured upcoming projects, HERA PHERI 3. I asked ChatGPT, can you write me a sequel to the HERA PHERI series? Let's see what it said. The opening scene. Raju, Shyam and Babu Rao are still struggling to make ends meet, even after the events of the previous movies. The movie opens with Raju, Shyam and Babu Rao living together in a small apartment, bickering and scheming to make money. Raju comes up with the idea to invest in a hotel, and the trio sets out to raise the money that they need. So they borrow the money off a dodgy loan company and buy part of a hotel with another investor. The trio discovers that the hotel they've bought is actually a front for money laundering, run by a comedic gangster named Bhai, played by Shahid Kapoor. They decide to go to the police, but Bhai has evidence that makes it seem like the trio is part of the money laundering. In order to escape the situation, the trio must come up with a plan to steal that evidence that they can give to the police instead to bring down Bhai's operation. This leads to a series of comedic heists and mishaps as the trio tries to outsmart Bhai and his goons. Along the way, the trio encounters a new character, a tough-as-nails policewoman who is determined to take down Bhai's operation. She's played by Tabu, and is acknowledged to be a doppelganger of Anuradha from the first movie. She initially sees the trio as a nuisance, but eventually comes to appreciate their unique skills and their sense of humour. The closing scene. The trio manages to steal the evidence and turn it over to the policewoman, who arrests Bhai and his gang. In the end, the trio is rewarded for their bravery, and they use their share of the money to start a legitimate business. The movie ends with the trio happily running their new venture, but still bickering and scheming as always. You know, that one was actually pretty believable. If you told me that was a leaked script and not from ChatGPT, I'd probably believe you. But isn't it so interesting that ChatGPT and AI in general can be used so advanced even today? What's it going to mean in a few years? Will the Indian film industry be using AI to help write their scripts and dialogues, maybe even their songs? For now, let's end the video here. Let me know in the comments which of the scripts you liked the most. Did you find any actually worthwhile? I thought the second one in particular was quite good. If you like this kind of video, also let me know. Maybe we can have a look at a few more AI Bollywood scripts. Do you have any suggestions of what I should type in? Let me know in the comments below. Or maybe you just watched this video because you know there was a Shah Rukh Khan cameo that cost me 100 crores. Either way, thanks for watching another video with Hey, it's Jay.